2025 is right around the corner, and the online space is more crowded than it's ever been. Having a good offer or service aren't enough to just scale your business, so what can you do? Spoiler alert, it's having a personal brand. And this isn't just important, it's absolutely crucial. It is the most asymmetrical lever you can pull in your business that will allow you to stay relevant, profitable, and actually make a serious impact. But here's the thing, everyone's saying build a personal brand, but no one's showing you how to actually do it in a way that isn't just another copycat personal brand, and actually is aligned with you and drives you consistent sales. And just think about all the thousands of creators who have a ton of traffic but can't seem to make any serious sales, or maybe don't even get traffic at all. That's why in this video, I'm breaking down exactly how you can build a personal brand that's going to help you grow an audience and also ethically, properly monetize it. Now, to do this, I'm going to be covering two important factors that actually make for a personal brand. First off, that's my own philosophy on personal branding that I haven't really heard a lot of people take this angle on, which I know is going to be unique and help you out. And the second is an actual framework and strategy that you can use to monetize the personal brand that you've built, so that by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build a personal brand that attracts the right audience, builds trust, and sets you apart, not the other way around. Now, quickly before we jump into this, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Vincent. I'm a growth operator and the founder of Imminent, and what I really focus on is scaling info businesses as well as personal brands. In 2024 alone, I partner with over 10 info businesses, coaches, creators, founders. I've been able to help them scale from absolute zero to 5-figure months, and some are well on their way to doing 6-figure months in 2025. And throughout this journey, there's one thing that became very, very clear. It's that having a personal brand for these info businesses, for these creators, was the absolute decisive factor that most of the time led to these crazy outstanding results. Now, here's the surprising part. It didn't matter if they had 10,000 followers or a million. In other words, the key wasn't the size of their audience, but it was actually the depth and value that their personal brand held that helped them create such a loyal audience and at the same time generate all this revenue. Because here's the thing, I've seen creators with over 500,000 followers unable to generate $3,000 a month, while some with only 10K followers are able to consistently hit 5 figures every single month just because they've nailed their personal branding, messaging, and are able to properly convey that. Now, to reinforce this point, Ravi Abuvala, the founder of Scaling Systems, recently shared something incredibly insane in his story. For one of his clients, he shared how the entire customer journey coming from an advertisement, in this case a sales cycle, took about on average 36 days versus through a personal brand, through YouTube in this case, which only took 5 days. That's insane stats. That means there's an absolute month difference in how quickly someone converts coming from an ad and a YouTube funnel. And that's all just the result of building a really strong personal brand and connection with your audience. And there are so many other examples of this. Think of Gary Vee, Iman Gadzhi, Russell Brunson, Alex Hormozi, and there are so many others. So now this video is for you if you're a creator, coach, entrepreneur looking to monetize your expertise and knowledge. Because these frameworks that I'm about to share with you will work for you, whether you're selling a one-on-one offer, a mid-ticket program, or maybe even a low-ticket course. And now this video isn't for you if all you want is a quick cash grab just to make some money online, and that's all you want to do. I want to show you the method that I have used both myself and for my clients to show up online, help amazing people make really beautiful transformations, and build a business that they love. And that's only possible if you show up and do the hard work, and please do it ethically. All right, let's jump into it. First of all, I'm going to talk about my philosophy on personal branding. I like to call this the Imminent personal branding frame. And here's how it works. I want you to visualize this. Your personal brand is a direct extension of who you are. It's, in other words, just your expression, except it's online. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to show everything about who you are, your story, your traumas online. That's not the point. But it's about intentionally showing up as yourself, being authentic, and creating a real connection. Because at the end of the day, that's what generates trust. That's what sells. So how does that actually look like? Well, here's a framework that I've personally crafted, and it exists out of 3 parts: your personality, your why, and your expertise. And if you put them together, you get a really cool frame. Let's break it down. Your personality is what makes you relatable. It's the way you talk, share, your humor, and the way you connect with others. It's really just how you show up. And without this, your brand basically becomes lifeless. It's kind of like a zombie. Think about it, and no shade here, but when you look at Mark Zuckerberg, do you really feel like you know this guy? Like he is a really relatable guy? Most of the time, you are likely going to feel really disconnected from him, and at least I personally do. And that's simply because he has a really strong why and a lot of expertise, but he feels there's like such a big gap between you and him at the same time. And not because he's any better than you, simply because you can't relate. Next is your expertise, and this one's pretty obvious, but it's what gives you credibility and authority. It's what sets you apart from being just another online personality. And if you're in the info space, it's essentially the way you can help people. It's your knowledge, your expertise, your skills, and what you're able to serve to support another, to get them a transformation from where they're at right now to where they would like to be. Whether it's helping someone scale a business, overcome trauma, or maybe even just learn a skill, it's basically what also creates your niche. And then lastly, we have your why. And your why is essentially the heart of your brand. Your why is what really makes people believe in you. For me, my why is quite straightforward. I really believe in a world where we can help each other and help others grow. For me, that means the main value is growth, whether that's helping people, becoming a better person myself, or just delivering value in the world. Coaching, knowledge, and personal development has helped me through a pretty tough part of my life, and now I get to help others in their growth, which is really awesome for me. And so the point is that this shows up in everything you do, in the way you speak, way you walk, the way you help people, even the way you deliver workshops or consulting. And it's so super important because without it, your brand will lack depth. With the correct why, your audience will not only be able to relate to you, but they'll actually start believing in you. And that is what really drives that trust. So now when you take this all and put it together, what you get is a really awesome brand that is not very easy to replicate and it is really unique to you because there's no one else out there who will have these unique combinations. They may have some form of it, but it's never going to be exactly the same because we all have different experiences and reasons why we do what we do, as well as personalities. Now take an honest look at your personal brand. Are you filling in all of these 3 pillars? Because if not, it's very likely that this is causing a mismatch between you and your audience, which is really holding you back from both converting more. If you are, that shook up. Fill it and you'll notice how your audience is going to perceive you different, engage with you different, and convert. Now that we've covered the philosophy behind personal branding, let's talk about the tactics and strategy you can apply to actually start crafting it and creating it properly. First off, you need to understand your audience. This may seem pretty obvious, but you'd be surprised how often this is overlooked and not properly executed. Because if you're not aware of who your audience is, what their needs are, and essentially where they are in their own journeys, it's incredibly hard to position yourself, your content, your brand in a way that you can serve them because you're missing completely what transformation you're seeking or what pain points they're currently dealing with. But once you've nailed that and got it out of the way, the next point is to actually create your funnel. So let's start off with the top of your funnel. This is where people are going to become aware of you. They're going to get to know you for the first time. The top of your funnel is all about creating content that generates awareness. To do this effectively, it should be content that is relatable. And the most relatable content is content that people either experience as pain points or as desires. And when you're creating this content, to position yourself as the person that by following you or just becoming part of your ecosystem, keyword here, your audience will be able to, in some way or form, solve their pain point or at least find a way to their desired outcome. Some really great platforms for top of funnel content are typically Instagram, TikTok, Threads, as well as LinkedIn. And Twitter, of course. If you're a business coach, you can create content like, hey, this is why you're not able to convert any sales, or this is why your sales funnel takes forever to convert. This is content that will make people aware and make them realize, hey, I've got some form of a problem or challenge. I should probably follow you to know a little bit more. Next up, we have the middle of your funnel, which is my favorite funnel step. This is where you can engage your audience, nurture them, and really build a strong community. Middle of funnel content essentially is the key to converting because it's what makes people trust you. It's where you open the gap between where your audience is right now and potentially where they would like to be one day. In other words, whether that's a transformation you've personally gone through or something you can serve them by helping them alleviate some pain. And the key here is positioning yourself as the person who can help them bridge that gap or walk over that bridge. Some really, really good nurture content pieces are Instagram head talk reels that are really all about authority, showcasing transformations. Testimonials work pretty well as well. And something that's been converting really well are long form videos like these where people get to spend a lot of time with you, get to know who you are, as well as how you can help them. And also, of course, VSLs, these also work great. And finally, we have your bottom of funnel, and this is the place where people convert. This is when they're going to make a purchase. And usually that means this type of content is also really focused on making sales, whether that's to go through DMs, sales calls, landing page. This is where you turn your engaged and loyal followers into paid clients. And the key here is really to build solid systems, whether that's you having a DM setter or an appointment setter built inside of your funnel, or some really, really strong landing pages with really good copy. This is essentially where you can convert all the work you've put into building your audience. One of the most efficient ways to close people in this stage is by using DM setters. And I'm not going to go in depth here. I'll talk about it in another video, but just wanted you to know that. So to round off, personal branding isn't just about standing out or making some quick bucks. It's actually one of your best assets you can possibly create for your entire business. By nailing the Imminent personal branding philosophy, you'll be able to create a brand that is super awesome, that does really align with you and brings a ton of value to your audience. And by following the framework that I shared with you, you'll be able to actually grow an audience, really nurture them, and at the end of the day, make a fuck ton of sales and deliver a ton of value, because that's what it's all about. Just do me one favor and do it ethically. That's all I want to say. And if for some reason you're struggling to build a personal brand or just to figure out how to actually convert your audience, then hit me up on Instagram and DM me Grow. I'll personally reach out to help you and offer you some guidance along the way, whether that's you just starting off or potentially already at 10K a month trying to now scale to 50K. And if you found this video helpful, maybe even learned something new out of the frameworks that I shared with you, leave a like, maybe even comment, let me know what you think of it, and make sure to follow my page, because I'll be sharing a lot more content on how you can build a personal brand, monetize it effectively, and scale your info offer to multiple 5 figures a month. So yeah, checking in with you next time. Ciao.